The excitement around the Tesla Model 2 did not appear out of nowhere. It started because of one powerful promise: a smaller, cheaper electric car that could bring Tesla ownership closer to millions of people who never considered buying one before. A price near $25,000 already sounds disruptive in the American EV market, but the real curiosity exploded when rumors began pointing to a new battery setup, longer range, and a manufacturing method that could completely change how the car is built. For many buyers, that combination sounds almost too good to ignore. A low price, more range, and Tesla's software ecosystem in a compact vehicle create the kind of expectation that makes people watch every leak, every factory update, and every small comment from the company with much more attention than usual. But underneath all that hype, there is a fear that keeps growing among people who are looking at the Model 2 with a more practical eye. The concern is not only about range, charging speed, or whether the car will really cost around $25,000. The bigger question is, what happens when this cheaper Tesla gets damaged in the real world? A car can look perfect in a factory presentation, but buyers live with potholes, parking mistakes, small crashes, insurance bills, and repair shops. That is where the conversation becomes more serious, because one of the key ideas behind making the Model 2 cheaper may also be the same thing that makes some people nervous: replacing hundreds of separate metal parts with one large cast structure. In a traditional affordable car, the chassis is usually built from many stamped metal pieces that are welded, bolted, or riveted together. In simple terms, it is like assembling a metal skeleton from hundreds of smaller bones. If one area gets bent in a minor accident, a repair shop may be able to remove, straighten, cut, weld, or replace only the damaged section. That does not mean repairs are always cheap, but the structure gives technicians more options. Today, many economy cars still rely on a process where roughly 400 to 500 individual metal pieces come together to form major parts of the body and chassis. It is not the most futuristic way to build a vehicle, but it has one big advantage: local damage can often stay local. That is why the idea of turning more than 400 components into one giant piece sounds brilliant and risky at the same time. From a manufacturing point of view, it can reduce complexity, cut labor, remove dozens of assembly steps, and make the factory move faster. From a buyer's point of view, however, the question is much more personal. If that one giant part gets cracked, twisted, or compromised, does the owner still have a simple repair path? Or does the entire car suddenly become too expensive to fix? This is the uncomfortable part of the Model 2 story, because the same innovation that could help Tesla reach a lower price may also force insurance companies, repair shops, and everyday drivers to rethink what a small accident actually means. For someone trying to buy an affordable EV, this matters a lot. A $25,000 price tag can attract first-time electric car buyers, families on a tighter budget, younger drivers, and people who simply want a reliable commuter without paying luxury car money. But affordability does not end at the dealership. It continues with insurance, maintenance, repair costs, and how the car survives ordinary life after the new car excitement fades. That is the central tension around the Model 2. It may be designed to make electric driving cheaper than ever, yet some buyers are asking whether its most advanced manufacturing shortcut could create a repair problem hiding in plain sight. And that concern leads directly into the technology at the center of the debate: Tesla's massive gigacasting process. Gigacasting is the manufacturing idea sitting at the center of this entire debate. Instead of building the front and rear structure of a car from hundreds of smaller stamped metal pieces, Tesla uses an enormous casting machine to create major sections as single aluminum parts. The concept sounds simple when explained from the outside, but the scale is what makes it different. This is not a small mold creating a basic bracket or a simple support piece. It is a massive industrial process where molten aluminum is forced into a huge mold under extreme pressure, creating one solid structure that would normally require a long chain of cutting, stamping, welding, measuring, and assembly. The machines used for this process are often described as some of the largest die-casting machines in the automotive industry. Depending on the setup, they can apply around 6,000 to 9,000 tons of clamping force, while injecting liquid aluminum into the mold. That pressure matters because the metal has to fill a complex shape quickly and evenly before it cools. If the flow is not controlled properly, the final part can have weak spots, tiny air pockets, or uneven sections. So the real challenge is not only making a giant aluminum part, the challenge is making that giant part repeatable, strong, accurate, and usable at high speed in a factory that needs to build cars every day. The reason Tesla is interested in this method becomes clear when the traditional process is compared side by side. A normal vehicle structure can require hundreds of separate components, and every one of those pieces has to be produced, moved, stored, aligned, joined, checked, and corrected if something is slightly off. Each weld, bolt, rivet, and bracket adds time and cost. Each extra step also creates another chance for tiny mistakes to appear. With gigacasting, one large plate-like structure can replace roughly 400 separate parts, turning a complicated assembly puzzle into a single finished section. That means fewer robots, fewer workers touching the same structure, fewer quality checks across hundreds of connection points, and a faster path from raw material to finished vehicle. For a car like the Model 2, this is not just a clever factory trick. It may be one of the keys to reaching the $25,000 target without turning the vehicle into something cheap in the worst sense of the word. Cutting price in an electric car is difficult because the battery already consumes a huge part of the budget. If the company saves money only by reducing battery size, range suffers. If it saves money only by removing features, the car starts feeling too basic. Gigacasting attacks the cost problem from another direction. It lowers the number of parts and the amount of time needed to build the car, which can help protect the price while still leaving room for a usable battery, a strong structure, and the basic technology buyers expect from a modern Tesla. But this is exactly why the discussion becomes so intense. In the factory, replacing hundreds of parts with one cast structure can look like a breakthrough. On the street, that same decision raises a very different question. A single-piece casting may remove many weak connection points, but it also changes the repair logic people are used to. Instead of asking whether one small bracket or panel can be replaced, owners and insurers may have to ask whether the main casting itself has been damaged. That is where the impressive part of the technology begins to collide with the scary part. The machine can stamp out a major section of the car with remarkable speed. But once that section is part of a real vehicle, a crash does not care how efficient the factory was. That is where the nightmare scenario begins to take shape. The fear is not that gigacasting automatically makes the Model 2 weak, because a single-piece aluminum structure can actually be extremely strong when designed correctly. The real concern is what happens after an impact that does not look dramatic at first. A parking lot hit, a low-speed rear-end collision, or a curb strike can seem minor from the outside, especially if the bumper cover still looks mostly intact. But if the force travels into the cast structure and causes a crack, twist, or hidden deformation, the repair conversation changes completely. The damage is no longer just cosmetic. It becomes structural. With a traditional chassis, a technician may be able to isolate the damaged area and replace only a section of the structure. That is not always simple, but it is a familiar process. Aluminum castings are different. They are engineered to have specific strength, shape, and internal properties after cooling inside the mold. If a repair shop tries to reheat and weld the wrong area, the metal can lose part of the strength that made it safe in the first place. This is the part many buyers do not think about when they hear that one giant casting replaces hundreds of pieces. The factory may create the part with precision, but a local repair shop cannot simply recreate that factory process in the back of a building. That is why some repair experts worry that a damaged casting could push the car straight into total loss territory. In insurance language, a total loss does not always mean the car is destroyed beyond recognition. It usually means the cost of repairing it is too high compared with the value of the vehicle. For a $25,000 EV, that line can arrive very quickly. If replacing or safely repairing a major cast structure requires special tools, strict procedures, expensive labor, and major disassembly, the insurance company may decide it is cheaper to write off the car than approve the repair. That sounds extreme, but in modern vehicles, even a car that still drives can be declared a loss if the structural repair math does not make sense. This is especially important for the Model 2 because its entire promise depends on affordability. A low purchase price can lose part of its appeal if insurance companies see the car as expensive to repair after common accidents. Buyers may not feel that immediately on the day they order the vehicle, but they could feel it through monthly insurance premiums or repair delays after a collision. A car designed to save money in the factory could create pressure somewhere else in the ownership experience. That does not mean the design is doomed, but it means the cheaper production method has to be matched by a smart repair strategy. Otherwise, the savings that Tesla creates during manufacturing could be questioned by owners when something goes wrong. The uncomfortable detail is that nobody wants to discover this problem after the car is already in millions of driveways. A small family buying an affordable EV is not thinking like an engineer studying casting behavior. They are thinking about payments, range, safety, and whether the car can survive normal life without turning every repair into a financial shock. That is why the debate around gigacasting feels so intense. It is not only a factory story, it is an ownership story. It raises a simple but serious question. Can Tesla make the Model 2 cheaper to build without making it scarier to fix? The answer depends on whether the company can control where crash energy goes before it ever reaches the main casting. This is where Tesla's engineering solutions become more important than the casting itself. The company cannot simply make a giant aluminum structure and hope every accident avoids it. Real roads are too unpredictable for that. Drivers get tapped in traffic, bump into poles, hit curbs, and deal with all kinds of small impacts that never appear in glossy factory demonstrations. So the key idea is not only to make the main structure strong, the key idea is to keep most everyday crash energy away from that expensive main structure whenever possible. That is why the repair debate usually starts with one practical detail: sacrificial crash rails. These crash rails work like replaceable shields placed behind the bumper area. Instead of allowing a light impact to travel directly into the major cast section, the rails are designed to absorb and deform first. In simple terms, they are the parts that are supposed to take the hit, so the deeper structure does not have to. If the collision stays within that zone, a repair shop may be able to remove the damaged rails and bolt in new ones without touching the main casting. This matters because many real-world accidents are not massive crashes. They are low-speed bumps, parking mistakes, and front or rear impacts where the energy can be managed before it reaches the core of the vehicle. The important number being discussed is that these sacrificial rails could handle around 80% of light collision cases without forcing a replacement of the main cast structure. That does not make repairs magically cheap, and it does not mean every accident will be simple. But it changes the risk picture. If the most common minor impacts can be contained in replaceable sections, the scary total loss scenario becomes less common. The main casting would still be a serious concern in harder hits, but it would not automatically turn every small crash into a disaster. For buyers, that distinction matters because there is a big difference between difficult to repair after severe structural damage and impossible to repair after any small bump. The second part of Tesla's argument is more complicated because it involves insurance math, not just repair bills. A single-piece structure has fewer joints, fewer welds, and fewer connection points that can fail under load. That can make the cabin area stronger in a serious crash because the structure behaves more like one continuous safety shell instead of many pieces fighting against each other. From the driver's point of view, that strength can help protect the people inside. From the insurance company's point of view, this creates a difficult equation. A structural repair may be expensive, but medical claims from serious injuries can be far more expensive than replacing metal. That is why the insurance question around the Model 2 is not as simple as saying gigacasting is good or bad. A cast structure could raise repair concerns in certain accidents, while also reducing injury risk in others. Insurers may have to calculate both sides at the same time: the cost of replacing damaged parts and the potential savings from a stronger cabin that helps avoid major medical payouts. This is the complicated trade-off hiding behind the $25,000 promise. Tesla is not just trying to build a cheaper EV. It is trying to change where the cost disappears inside the system. From factory labor to repair strategy, from part count to crash protection, and from old assembly habits to a structure designed around fewer, larger, stronger pieces. That is also why the rest of the industry is watching this so closely. If gigacasting were just a risky shortcut with no real future, other automakers would probably stay far away from it. Large car companies are usually careful with manufacturing changes because one bad decision can affect millions of vehicles, thousands of workers, supplier contracts, repair networks, and long-term brand trust. Yet giants like Toyota and Hyundai have been studying and investing in similar large casting strategies, which suggests the idea is not just a Tesla experiment sitting on the edge of the industry. It is becoming one of the biggest manufacturing battles in the EV race, because the company that builds the car faster and cheaper can control the price war before the vehicle even reaches the showroom. The reason this matters so much is simple. Making an affordable electric car is not only about finding a cheaper battery. The battery is extremely important, of course, because it is one of the most expensive parts of any EV. But even if battery costs fall, the rest of the car still has to be assembled, painted, wired, tested, transported, and repaired through a supply chain that can become expensive very quickly. For a vehicle targeting around $25,000, every unnecessary bracket, weld, robot movement, inspection step, and factory delay becomes a problem. A few dollars saved in one area may not sound exciting, but when that saving is repeated across hundreds of thousands or even millions of cars, it can decide whether the vehicle is profitable or just a headline. This is where Tesla's approach becomes more aggressive than a normal cost-cutting plan. The company is not only removing features or shrinking the car to hit a lower price. It is attacking the way the car is physically created. Traditional automotive manufacturing has been built around stamping many metal panels, joining them together, and moving the body through long assembly lines. That method has worked for more than a century, and it helped create the modern car industry. But it also carries a lot of inherited complexity. Gigacasting challenges that old rhythm by asking a very direct question. Why assemble hundreds of pieces one by one if a machine can form a major section in a single shot? Toyota's interest is especially important because Toyota built its reputation on manufacturing discipline, efficiency, and reliability.